Okay.
What's happening, people? What's happening, baby? It's been a minute, huh?
What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? It's a rainy day here. It's a rainy day here in Sydney, Australia.
Good old Sydney Mike. Oh, yeah.
If you guys don't know, we are both American. We live in Sydney. For whatever reason, we're here.
We're making it work, you know? You just got to make it work sometimes.
Gotta make it work. Thanks everybody for dropping a like already. We already have 14 likes before the stream even begins. That's unreal numbers right there. You can see there is a like goal on today's stream. It is 75 because we already hit the 50 like goal. If we hit 75 likes, Badaki has to either buy an Eli Apple jersey or eat dog food. And like we said before, we're not sure which one is worse. What's up, Gator? Say what's up if you're watching in the chat. What's up, Connor? Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. What do we have today, Badaki? What are we doing?
Yeah, Dynasty Startup mock draft, as always, with rookies included, 12-team PPR, quarterback, 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, tight end, 2 flex, super flex, and a couple bench spots. We just, as always, we're going to break it down for you. We're going to talk about it, see what's changed.
By the way, Wesley just said, just traded away JT for 2 23 firsts, Saquon and Ayuk. That is great value. This is another example. You know, there's obviously a big difference of opinion between how you should value JP from certain people. But that is stupid good value. If you can sell JT for a king's ransom, I am 100% on board. What's up, Ravers? Daniel, you said join your Discord and considering joining your Patreon. Thank you for the great content. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. That means a lot. It's time to give a quick shout out to the people who have joined our Patreon in the last week or so. Shout out to Jammer Time. If you're watching Jammer Time, we sent you a message over there on the follower leagues. I want to get you involved in our Discord. Make sure you have those exclusive roles set up. Shout out to Sleeper Marcus, Adam Walker, Craig, Jux, Charlie.
Get up, Craig. Come on, Craig.
Come on, Craig.
Come on, Craig. Get up, Craig. If you know, you know. If you know, put what movie it is in the chat.
Come on, Craig. Get up, Craig.
Get up, Craig.
Thanks for the love, Daniel. That means a lot. Appreciate that. And, while we're talking about it, we try not to plug until the very end. But since you brought it up, if anyone does want to join leagues or support us on Patreon or get unlimited advice through our fantasy hotline, which is literally a DM where me and Badaki are just with you. You can ask us questions. That's all on Patreon. We pasted that in the chat. What's up, Zach? Rose says, what's up, guys? I love your buy-sell series. Dope content. Keep up the great work. Appreciate that. Connor says, will link be posted in Discord? Love to join a mock. Yes, great point. So in order to join a mock with us tonight, how do people do that, Badaki? It's pretty simple.
Yeah, join our Discord. That's already pinned in the chat above. Join the Discord, and then I'll put the link in the Dynasty channel where it has Dynasty mock drafts. There you can see where all our previous mock drafts has gone before. I'll give you guys some time to get there as well because we are going to kick this off very, very soon. But let us know if you guys have any questions. I know Daniel said about the Patreon. Let us know if you have any questions, man. Any concerns, comments, concerns. Please send a question our way, and we continue. Make sure we also have a content creation tab on our Discord. Anything that you want us to create, make sure you throw it on there because
we can't promise that we'll make it, but we've made a lot of stuff from that tab itself.
I mean, 100%. There is what did we make from somebody this past week?
DJ Moore buy or sell. We just recorded that.
We did DJ Moore buy or sell. Yeah, we're gonna try to do as much as we can because now we have a lot of requests. So put whatever you think is we should hear, and we'll try to put in the rotation potentially.
Yeah.
So
what's up? What's up, Dane? MP says shout out Mark Andrews. Wesley says I liked. As always, you boys are on fire. Appreciate that, Wesley. Sleeper Marcus is in the chat. Gator is helping people out. Harrison says, why y'all want to eat dog food so bad? Honestly, I don't want to eat dog food, but people just don't ever vote for it, so we keep putting it up there. But honestly, I genuinely don't know which one is worse. I think it is worse buying an Eli Apple jersey than eating dog food. I do think that is a worse punishment.
Maybe we need to figure out another one.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Zach has already has to buy a Washington Commanders jersey because
Yes.
we already hit our like goal, but he's waiting for the new jerseys or more jersey
The black ones, maybe. I
colors
want to
to
have a
come
look at
out.
them. I'm also hoping that Dan Snyder is out by the time I buy. So I'm kind of like just hoping that he is out. And if he goes out and then I buy a jersey, it's like the NFL being like, oh, we did the right thing.
All right, should we
I'm
get
just
the
gonna
link
say
out?
hi quickly to Zach Harris. Say good evening, guys. What's up, man? How much is it to join Patreon? In the link you can see in that Patreon link you can see there's $2 tiers, $5 tiers if you just want advice. There's $10 tiers, $15 tiers. You know, depending on what you're looking for.
Even the Discord is going
Quote
off.
Nation, what's up, Quote Nation? And Ro asked a question. He says, just join the Discord. What channel do you post the mock in? That will be in the Dynasty Mock Drafts channel.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and
I'm
go over
gonna
to this
tag.
bad boy.
I'm gonna tag everyone here right now and be like, "This is it."
This is
I'm gonna go to
this is the
everyone.
channel.
I'm gonna say, "This is the channel. This is the channel.
What's up, Tommy? It's been a minute, bro.
This is the channel." So I'm gonna tag everyone in that one so you can see me there. So go there, and then that's where I'm gonna be posting the link. Remember, there is a bit of delay on YouTube.
Yeah.
What's good, Tommy? Yeah, what's good, Tommy? It's been a minute. Sleeping Marcus, salivating thinking about eating that dog food. Yeah,
I
my
think
dog
you would
is,
rather do that, to be honest.
100%. My dog food. It's funny because my dog is like she's very allergic, so she can't have like your typical like kibble. You go out and get it. We have to get her like a specific meal.
Is it wet food, wet dog food, or something?
No, it's actually dry, but it's one.
Oof.
It's one based. I don't know what's the term. It's like one ingredient food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I reckon you go ahead and send that link. The link to join tonight's mock is about to be sent. You have a Seven says gonna let someone else draft for once. Seven always gets in. Seven and Garrett. They got the hacks.
They have the hacks. No doubt about it. All right. I'm gonna post this link here. Give me a sec.
Hey, while we're waiting for it to join, I got a nice little haircut the other day. What do you guys think? Good? What you think? Just a little touch up. Just had to keep it all.
Who cut your hair?
His name's Mick. I've been going to him for like 5 years now. Mick's my guy. I just sent him a text and say, Mick, can you get me today? He's like, yeah, just come in.
Is this the guy that lives in your building?
No, he doesn't live in my building.
Okay. All right. The link about to go out here in that same channel that I posted or I tagged everyone in. Give me a second. All right. Make sure you go to that tab because it's about to go out. So it's a little bit delayed.
No more teasing. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
There goes the link.
There it is.
The link is out there on our Discord right now. Let's see how fast this fills up. We got Paul Wynn. We got Back in 82, Ryan. We got Sleeper Marcus, Tuvok, Jack, Saxter. We are full, ladies and gentlemen. We are full. Couple new people. Shout out. I mean, obviously, Jack has been here for a while. Tommy's been here for a while. Ryan, Dante. But obviously Sleeper as well. I don't think we've mocked with Tuvok before, or Back in 82, or D. Lawrence. So shout out to you guys. I'll say as well, if you guys have never been able to mock with us and you actually want to, we want to make sure that you have that opportunity to be in a mock with us in our community. So before we do a next mock, in our Discord, we always give information and times of when those mocks will happen. So before we do our next mock, if you want to be a part of it, just DM the Fantasyland Football account. Send us a message. Say, hey, I've never been able to get into a mock. I'd really like to get into one. And we'll make sure and hook you up because we want to make sure everyone gets an opportunity.
Absolutely.
All right. So we have a Dynasty Startup Draft, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Some people do 3. We have 2 flexes instead. And then we have 1 tight end and the SuperFlex. So it is a SuperFlex startup. It is not tight end premium. It is SuperFlex PPR scoring format. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. 60 seconds on the clock, and then we will move towards 30 seconds when it comes more towards that time. A lot of people have commented and said, hey, can you turn the audio off? Because it gets really annoying. So I'm going to turn it off. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, Josh Allen at the 1-1. I like the audio, but some people don't like it. So
some people don't like it, yeah.
Rose says he's Tuvok Shakur. Love it.
Right, Tuvok Shakur. That's funny. It goes JT.
Okay,
here.
so Jonathan Allen and JT off the board at the 1-1 and then the 2-1-2.
Who the hell is Jonathan Allen?
Did I say Jonathan Allen?
Yeah.
Did I? That's
Yeah.
my guy.
Look, I've actually never been in this position where I had to choose between Patrick Mahomes, like the rest of the rest of the
Yeah,
game.
it is crazy the quarterbacks on the board right now.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna take who I want. Obviously, I think it's clear you're gonna take
Gotta be Patty.
Patrick, Kyler, blah blah blah. Yeah, it has to be Patty here. I'm just gonna go with him, even though
Yeah, you got to take Patty here.
I just hate the Chiefs. Not just.
Yeah, you do. All right, Josh Allen at the 1, JT at the 1-2, Herbert, and then Mahomes. Look, I'll get on my soapbox for 1 second. I do believe that the top 6 to 7 quarterbacks should go before Jonathan Taylor. Again, just look at the top running backs 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago. You know, like the longevity for a quarterback is so much longer in fantasy than it is for a running back. I'll just say my piece. I understand why people take JT, early on, but I just wanted to say my piece before we move on. But the fact that, you can have Herbert, Mahomes, Kyler, Lamar, Joe Burrow, and, I just always would prefer to solidify that quarterback over a running back in Dynasty.
Somebody, maybe Shakur, or which is technically Roll. He's probably taking him. He's going to trade him away. I mean, we had Wesley just trade away. We said in the chat earlier, trade away 223 first, getting Saquon and Ayuk, hopefully getting not a better quarterback, but a quarterback in the 2023. Maybe he's believing in a Bryce Young or Stroot.
I'm not going to lie. It's kind of boring without the sounds. I want the sounds on. I actually really enjoy the sounds. I'm sorry about that. Oh, see, that's probably what annoys people is when it goes, wow. I'll try and keep it off for a little bit. Rose says he thought it was one quarterback. I would have picked Mahomes. It's okay, man. I mean, honestly, people are still taking JT there at the 2 in a superflex. It's not uncommon for some people to do that. Sleeper Marcus mentioned in the chat, he said you can't get a monster return for JT in 3 years where you can with one of the quarterbacks still. And that's a very, very good point. The longevity, the value is still going to be there, however long from now. Okay, so I'm looking at the board.
Oh, you're at the 111 here.
I'm at the 111. I really don't ever like being in this spot, if I'm honest with you guys.
At the end, yeah. That's why you got to mark there sometimes. You just got to get a feel for it.
So to me, I think it is going to be JJ. I just kind of want to make sure. Like at this point with these quarterbacks off the board, I do think now is the time to maybe consider a positional player.
Yeah,
obviously Chase is who I would have loved ideally here. But I'm going to go ahead and go Justin Jefferson here at the 111.
Yeah. I mean, is it really a massive fall off? I think, if Kirk Cousins stays, the question, I think the worry with Justin Jefferson is Kirk Cousins going to stay? Mm-hmm. And ideally you want him to stay because of that connection.
Right.
And then you don't want JJ to be going through a whole nother, getting used to this new quarterback, whether it's a rookie. I mean, if it's Aaron, great, but I doubt it. If it's Deshaun, even better. But at the moment, it feels like you hoping that Kurtz just stays there, for Justin Jefferson's sake.
Okay, so here I am on the clock, and this is a tough position. I was hoping that Dak Prescott would be on the board. Now I kind of need to look at my other options at this point at quarterback. I don't want to wait another round, and this is where I'm kind of put in a tough position. I wasn't able to get one of those top 8 quarterbacks, so now I have to reach potentially on someone that I still believe in. Let me just look at my rankings. I'm pulling them up. I just want to make sure that I'm taking the right guy here. Yes, so Justin Fields will be coming off the board here to me. I still believe in him long term. I love what I saw from him. In fact, I feel a little bit like I like Trey Lance more because of his situation, but right now I have a little bit more confidence in Fields at this very moment. So
yeah, I love Justin Fields. If you guys have been following, I think Justin Fields could potentially be the most successful quarterback in that draft, out of that draft. So I'm banking on that right now. I believe in him.
Out of the rookie quarterbacks right now, because we haven't seen anything really from Trey Lance, there's still the belief. I still believe in him personally, but I feel like 100%. We know more about Fields at this point,
Yeah. And I think it's so hard to think about Trey Lance because the supporting cast with Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, now Elijah Mitchell in the backfield is it's amazing. You know, like how can he fail?
Yeah,
Where Justin Fields is like, well, I think we're all banking on his talent
for
alone
sure.
just to, make everyone around him fantasy relevant.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Wesley says, "Where do you guys live again?" We live in Sydney, Australia, mate.
City, mate.
Both American. Badaki's from New York. I'm from LA, Kansas City, all over the
Mm-hmm.
place. But we live here because both of the women that we love are here. So that's where we are.
Yeah.
But
Came here.
I do miss LA all the time. So who knows? Could be back there at some point. Benjamin says, "What's good, guys? How far ahead do you recommend having picks available to trade for a startup?" I would say a month ahead feels like whenever your startup is 1 month away, that's when you should start. I mean, you could argue earlier, but I think 1 month away is when you should start allowing pick trading to happen, because that is a massive part of a startup, massive. And it's fun. It's so fun. And there's a lot of strategy that goes into that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Waddle at the 2-4. I love that. I'm not upset with him going there as the wide receiver 4 off the board.
Yeah,
He is my wide receiver 4. So I'm okay with that. CD is my wide receiver 5, so I'm good with that as well. And then we see Deebo Samuel off the board at the 2-6.
We just released a video of Deebo Samuel, why we should either buy or sell, and check that out. I forgot what you said.
Essentially, I don't want to ruin that video. If you do want to hear our thoughts on Deebo, I don't think either of us would have taken him this high, even though most of the Dynasty community is. Check out that video we just released literally today, and that will kind of give the reasonings as to why we are a little bit hesitant on taking Deebo this early, which means we probably won't have a lot of him in these startups. Daniel says a lot of experience in Dynasty leagues, considering joining one of your leagues soon. That's awesome, Daniel.
That's awesome, man.
Feel free to send us a message on Discord if you have any questions. And, just to clarify with those leagues, it's a great way for you to support us and what we're doing, and also be a part of a community that really cares about Dynasty. You want to be with people who are committed to the long term of a Dynasty league. There's nothing worse than starting a Dynasty league up and then a year later people are out. But it's a way to support us. You also get unlimited advice. We're also releasing a bunch of rookie profiles on there this week. Really excited about that. Been working hard on those for you guys. But yeah, appreciate that comment. Zach Cole says, "We don't want you guys to eat dog food. We love you guys."
Appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate that. Hey guys, drop a like if you haven't, to show some love. If we hit that like goal, we will do. Looks like right now Benaki has to buy an Eli Apple jersey. So
No
Tyreek
way.
killed the 2-8. I'm turning the sounds back on. I don't care. I like them. It feels
Nah,
weird
turn it
without
back
them.
Turn it back on. I'm gonna take a guy here that I've actually never gone at the 2-9.
Okay.
And that's Javonte Williams. I can't believe he fell
Okay,
to me.
I like
I'll take
it.
Patrick Mahomes with Javonte and take a chance on getting a quarterback on the turn here at the 3-4 for me. So I like Javonte Williams there.
I'd actually love everyone to either comment in the chat or comment in the comments when you're watching this later. Tell me, do you like the sounds on, or do you want the sounds to be off? To me, it feels a little empty without the sounds. Like, I feel like the sounds are a big part of it. I don't know. I like the sounds that Sleeper has. I think the wows are a little bit too much. I agree. When they go, wow, wow. But anyway. Wow. All right. So we see Javonte, CMC, Cooper, Kupp off the board. Hey, shout out to Chris. Appreciate that. Chris, Christopher Ludlam just signed up to our close friends tier over there on Patreon. Hey, man, really, really appreciate that. We'll send you a message later to say thank you as well. That means a lot.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. That's huge.
That is very,
Actually,
very kind.
it helps us out. You guys don't know. It helps us out. We have full. We do this on the side. We try to do this as much as possible. We've been grinding it out.
Yeah.
Crazy. All love.
Great value with Javonte. I like the sounds personally. Connor likes the sounds. So,
Okay.
Michael Monzo says, "How many new Dynasty leagues are you guys going to do this year through Patreon members?" I think we might do maybe 4 at the most. We don't want to set a specific number because it really depends on how many people are wanting to be a part of them.
Yeah, we're trying to. It's a hard area to be in because, we want as many people to sign up. But at the same time, we can only do so many leagues. So we don't want to be one of those people that says, "Yeah, I have 100 leagues," and not really following all the other leagues. So
Yeah.
we're trying to find that number right now for us,
Trying
and
to
we've been
find that
discussing
balance.
this. Yeah.
Here's
To
what I'll
find.
say is what we can promise you is that we will never start a dynasty league and be less committed to other leagues. I think that's what it really comes down to for us is every time we agree to open up a new round of dynasty leagues, Badaki and I have to have the conversation and say, are we committed? Are we able to do this and still give everything to all the other leagues? So that's what I can promise you guys. Zach said he thinks that No Sounds feels empty, and I agree. Nice pick, Badaki. I'm Javante over CMC too. The wows are only for quarterbacks or kickers, I believe. Maybe super high reaches, but I'd have to ask. Sleeper Marcus knows the ins. I like the sounds. Go with your gut, brother. Jack said he misclicked on Devontae Adams, and now he's like, I'm all in now. Let's go win now.
Win now, GG. That's funny.
Daniel says, when will you guys be starting your dynasty leagues? I preferably like to do startup after the NFL draft, but that's just me. Yeah, all of our dynasty leagues we will have our startup after the NFL draft. We just think it's the smartest thing to do, to be honest. Can you set up custom sounds on Sleeper? I actually didn't know if that was possible. Is that possible to do custom sounds? That'd be pretty cool.
I'm actually no. I mean, Sleeper Marcus, my guy's here.
Okay, so we see Matty Stafford off the board at the 3-2, which, by the way, I'm surprised more quarterbacks aren't off the board at this point. Mark Andrews at the 3-3.
Yeah, exactly. I am surprised, very surprised, and I'm left with a lot of different options.
You've got great options for your quarterback too here.
I mean, my quarterback too. I'm hoping that he plays. I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson still, even though the reports are coming out. Doesn't seem too.
That is way too low for Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
That's way too low for him.
And I think he's fallen maybe because of everything that's happening.
The reports, yeah.
Obviously, this is just a mock draft. If this happens, or if he does confirm out Deshaun Watson is cleared all his whatever's happening, he's going to be starting for whatever team next year. I think he goes where Najee's going at the 1-7,
right.
1-8, 1-6. I think he's going to go around there for
sure. Once he gets traded, he will go in the first round. I think so, at least.
Yeah.
Once he gets traded. Because that's almost like a new chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Connor says, I know I've asked this before, but I think you guys should do a 16-team mock. It would give more people a chance to get in the draft. It would give more people a chance to get in, but the only issue is, Connor, is that, probably 99%, 95% of people don't play in a 16-team league, so it might be less relevant, but it might be fun just to do it once, Badaki. Maybe we should do it just once.
I'm definitely down to try it. I think it's as long as we can get some people. I know like a lot of people like to do 12 teams because that's what they cater. I think at least the majority of our community caters to that, but we can definitely try to do it once and see how we feel because 16-man league. Sheesh, that's crazy.
Paul says, is there going to be like a sign up sheet or interest form? So Paul and to anyone who is interested in our leagues, that's just by signing up through our Patreon. Okay. So you choose the tier that you want to. You can either do that yearly. There's a discount with our tiers, or you can do it monthly. Just keep the tier active and you stay in the league. I just pasted the link in the chat. And then there is a $25 deposit. And the reason that deposit is there is actually for everyone's benefit. If people have deposits, they're likely to stay in the long term, and that's what we want for these dynasty leagues. We want to stay in the long term. Benjamin says, "Oh, you were doing the sounds yourself." We don't do the sounds ourselves, but Sleeper, you can see right here. You guys, I'm pretty sure you can turn it on and off when you're mocking with us as well.
Let's go team. And then we see Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Joe Moneybag Mixon going there. Then T Higgins, a guy that I was probably hoping to go for.
I was like, how is he falling?
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson. We just made a video on him that will be out this week. Buy or sell. I actually really, really enjoyed that one. DK Metcalf, Joe Mixon, T Higgs, and Trevor Lawrence. I have to be honest with you, I probably would have drafted Trevor Lawrence if he was on the board at the 3-9. I think Jalen Hurts would have been off the board as well if it wasn't if this mock draft wasn't in our community.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's interesting. Definitely very, very interesting. Jalen Hurts. Oh,
Sleeper Marcus says, even if Watson doesn't play, you have Mahomes and a 21-year-old running back, you're set. Yeah, Badaki, I like the way you started this. Adam Baker says he's in a 14-team league. That's fair.
Okay.
Zach Cole says, if you were offered a first round next year for Daniel Jones and Kadarius Toney, would you accept, reject, or try to get more value?
If you're offered a first round
Can
next,
you let us know? Is this a SuperFlex league?
if you were offered a first round next year for Daniel Jones and Kadarius Toney, would you accept? I mean, I'm personally rejecting. If it is a super flex league, I'm probably still rejecting that because I think you can get more for Daniel Jones and Kadarius Toney, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I think you just get more value in general. I don't know about you, Zach. I know you're making a pick here. Smash.
Yeah, this is. I have never liked being in this position in the draft. I just don't enjoy being here. So I might have to reach on a player. I might have to reach on a player considering where I am currently. Let's see.
No, go for it.
Is Pity City on the board? I'm gonna grab Pity City here.
Nah, Kyle Pitts is done.
Pity City is Michael Pittman,
My
bro.
bad. I thought that was Kyle Pitts.
Terry, I was considering Terry. Man, it's so hard between Terry, Godwin, Pittman, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore. Like that rank it's so hard.
It is 100%
to rank those guys.
Once again, like we're in this phase where like the Deontay's, the Chris Godwin,
hit the get. Thanks,
appreciate you, Brian. Thank you, man.
That.
Yeah, we're just in that weird phase where like you don't know what's gonna happen with these guys. You know, Calvin, D-Hop. I think if we know what's happening, we know like Chris Godwin's timeline. We know who's gonna throw to Deontay. You know, we know where Calvin's gonna go. Then it'd probably be a little bit more. I mean, still dynasty. So some people would like to take a chance on them here in the fourth. But
yeah,
very interesting. What's it say? So Steve Marcus. Let's see, Brian, really fast. Favorite spot to draft from in startups this year. I mean, at the moment, the 1-4. I mean, look what I'm getting here. I think it's always the middle, you know.
I'm gonna go Gibby here at the 4-2. I think it might be a little too early, but again, like I you have to consider on the edges what's gonna be available on your way back, and I don't imagine there's many young running backs that I like on the return here. So I have to take Gibson there.
Yeah, I like the middle here.
Yeah, for me, honestly,
Brian.
anywhere from the 1-4 to the 1-8. I love being in the middle because I feel like in these positions you don't have to reach on talent. Whereas if you're on the 11, the 12, the 1, like it's you do have to reach if there's guys that you really like. Do you know what I mean?
I think I think that like everything's gonna change. You know, like I think you want to stay in the front because if you can get one of these positions 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, you're gonna get a good quarterback and a decent either running back, wide receiver on the second round, depending on how you want to build your team. So I guess
that's a good point. I think if you can get 4, 5, 6, then you're guaranteeing yourself a top 6 quarterback. 4, 5, 6 might be my favorite then. Now that I think about that.
Yeah. So
just on Zach Cole's trade question, honestly, you have to decide if you believe in Daniel Jones. Okay, I am not amongst the group who does. I know Dable's coming in, but I think I've seen enough to not believe in him. So while I think I would take the trade, Zach, I think you can get more value than just a first. I might be crazy saying that, but I do think you might be able to get more than just a first. So maybe try and get a little bit more. Connor had a comment here. He said, one cool series idea for you guys would be to show off your dynasty teams and some recent trades you've done as well as a team, as a direction your team is headed in. I like that. That's a good idea. Okay. Connor, make sure you pop that in the content ideas chat over there on Discord. Now, Jalen Hurts goes at the 4-4. Look, that's probably too low. A lot of you guys are going to be looking here saying that's too low. For me, if I was still there at the 4-4, I wouldn't take him. That's just because I don't think he's a long-term answer. I don't think I saw what I need to see this year. But everyone else in the Dynasty community is telling me, no, he is the answer. He should be a second-round pick. I get it. I get where you guys are coming from. But we released a video, and I gave my reasonings as to why on Jalen Hurts. You can find that on our channel. But, Badaki, I feel like you probably would see that as really great value. Hey.
Yeah, I would see that as really great value. I'm a guy that believes in Jalen Hurts. I I would argue sometimes if you know if we had all these quarterbacks truly going in the first, maybe to the mid second, I would be taking Jalen Hurts, you know, at the 210,
Right.
209, 211, because that's I still believe in him. I think it's too early. Go watch that video. If it's time to panic on Jalen Hurts or not. Zach and I are split like the community. Zach
Yeah.
doesn't believe in him, and I'm still giving him a chance. So go check that out.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch. Just catching up with the chat. Daniel says, is there a wait list for your dynasty leagues? Is there a chance some won't be able to get in this coming season due to high volume? So there is a chance, Daniel, that some won't get in. That's just the reality. I mean, we had to do that last year as well. We set a deadline and we were like, hey, this is the last chance to get in. And then that deadline passed, and there was maybe 5 to 6 to 7 people who weren't able to get into a league, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we just can't promise that everyone will get into a league. We think that you'll be fine, but every time we create a new league, we have to sit down and have that discussion together and say, can we commit to this? Can we make this an amazing league? So I'm sorry that there's not like a direct answer, but I hope that makes sense.
I think like if you're wanting to sign up, I know we have a couple people signing up for a league right now, and I think that league is
more than halfway full.
More than halfway full. But I know if you were to sign up now, not saying you should or that I'm trying to push you, but if you were to sign up now, I think you'll probably be guaranteed in the first league because our first league is still being filled.
Yeah.
So I guess that's another bright side if you want to look at it. I'm going to go with my first wide receiver here, and I am loving this team. If I can start with this team, is absolutely fantastic, and that's Elijah Moore here for me at 4-9.
I was going to say that's really good value. I mean, everything is falling for you in this draft. Everything is happening the way that we want it to. By the way, Burks and Hall, the first rookies off the board at 4.7, 4.8. Last time we saw Burks go at, I think, the 3.3 or something high like that. This is a little bit more reasonable. I do think there's more solidified talent on the board. But Breece Hall at the 4.8, I think you can make a case for. Yeah. Then we see Deontay and Travis Kelce off the board. Chris says, please don't change that subscribe pop-up video. It makes me crack up. Excuse me. I love that. We love it as well. Awesome. Honestly, every time I hear someone subscribe and that notification pops up, it's hard not to just vibe with it, you know? I think Pittman would have came back to you. I'm seeing him go in the 5th, 6th in most startups. Really? That's interesting, Ro. To be honest, I haven't seen Pittman go past the middle of the 4th.
Our community really likes Pittman.
Yeah, that could be because of our community bias.
If you look back in our other mock drafts in the past couple weeks, I think Pittman's going, early. I think this is the earliest he's probably gone so far now. Was a 3.11, but he's been going beginning of the 4th, end of the 4th, the majority of the time. Usually Pittman and Elijah Moore go back to back essentially.
The hard part there for me is I like going wide receiver heavy, but I don't want to invest into Diggs. I'm sorry. I know I might be overvaluing or undervaluing him because of his age, but the reality is age is a real thing we need to look at. And then I wasn't ready to commit to Burks, and I thought it was a little too early for Elijah. So it's just such a weird place to be in there. And that's going to lead to maybe some reaches, if we're honest. Brian says Team 2 is going to have some problems when JT busts and the rest of his team is 30 years old. It looks like Tuvo's going win now. You can see where this would be a win now team, which makes sense if that's the strategy you want to pursue.
No, for sure. I mean, this was just so hard. I know Zach, for example, was trying to trade me Matthew Stafford earlier, and I was like, I don't think I can get a first for him. He got like 2 firsts or something like that.
Yeah, I told you, bro. I told you could trade Stafford for good value.
I get it.
Well, I think I offered you 2 firsts and Matthew Stafford for Kyler because you were selling Kyler. You're like, dude, no one wants Stafford, but then I flipped him.
Yeah, you flipped him. So I ended up selling Kyler anyway. So
yeah, no, you were able to sell. Of course. I think that you shouldn't have sold Kyler. I think you sold him just because you don't like him.
I sold him because my team was in absolute shambles, and everyone that I drafted there was absolutely terrible. And I just needed to completely reset, even with Kyler, even though it's probably not the best excuse to reset with Kyler. But
yeah, he's 24 years old. You're gonna So my only issue with it, like, and I understand like the direction, but my question is, do you think you will find any player as valuable as Kyler with those picks? That's what you have to ask yourself.
Probably,
You know?
I'll probably not, but I'm banking on, since I'm going to be a young team, I'm not going to be a win now team. I have a 2023 first.
Right.
So if I can get in the top 3, top 5,
Right.
I'm hoping one of those quarterbacks can come to me, like a Young or a Strew, whatever the class is going to look like.
I guess there's a
hoping
case
that.
to be made, like building a more complete team, with the picks. I guess you could make that case, but
Yeah.
you know me, I like Kyler still.
I'm
So I'm going to
take
be all aboard the Kyler
Elijah
train.
Mitchell here.
Great pick. I was hoping that the ADP would keep him hidden.
Yeah,
He shouldn't go that
Elijah
late.
Mitchell. I took him here. I mean, I needed another running back. Obviously, the wide receiver room is so deep. So I needed to get my second running back. If you guys know me, I like to solidify my running backs early, and I'm surprised that I'm not doing that here. But also, like a very young team always as well in Dynasty. I try not to lean as with.
Every time I do a win now, I don't know about you, but every time I try win now strategy, I just look at my team afterwards and I'm like, ugh, I'm just disgusted. I'm like, I have anxiety already looking at this team, trying to figure out how to sell these assets.
Yeah.
Zach was asking what you sold Kyler for. He's trying to sell him 2. I think you got 3 firsts, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me try to pull it up. Look, once again, my team was in absolute shambles. This is one of our follower leagues, and I actually changed my team completely. I don't remember. I
think every player that you bet on just didn't pan out.
It was in the mix of like Clyde, Allen Robinson. I had who else did I have? I had Jerry Jeudy. Oh no, I traded for Jerry Jeudy. I don't remember my old team now.
Yeah, your team looks completely different in that Bravo league than it did 2 weeks ago. Same with mine, to be honest.
Let me see if I can pull it up here.
All right, while you're doing that, we see Mitchell off the board, then DJ Moore at the 5-5. I'm happy with that pick, honestly. I think that's a good pick there for DJ in a Dynasty startup. Then Etienne, you guys know I'm an Etienne lover, and TJ Hawk off the board. It'll be interesting to see what picks come next because I got some players I got my eyes on. There goes Garrett Wilson. There goes Chris Godwin. And George Kittle's off the board. I was considering Kittle there, so that makes this decision a little bit easier. I think I'm going to take my next quarterback. And the fact that Mac Jones is still on the board. Oh, no. So is Tua. Crap. Okay, I'm going to... Dante's hearing this. Dante's literally hearing this. So if Dante takes 2 quarterbacks, it's because he's trolling me. But I'm looking at the board. If I wasn't on a stream, I would be looking at the board and saying, okay, is he going to take 2 quarterbacks? No, there's 2 that I really like there. So I'm going to look at the wide receivers here. And I think I'm going to take Devonta Smith here as my wide receiver 3. Okay. We just recorded a video about him, actually, and it'll be out soon. So here goes Mac Jones. This is going to be the ultimate troll if he does this.
Just classic, isn't it?
Dante, don't troll me. Yeah. Okay. So as I hoped, now Tua is still available. We did a buy or sell video on Tua last week. A lot of good convos in that comment section. And for me, still believe in him. One of the most efficient quarterbacks last year in the NFL. I think he's going to get better. So I'm going to draft him here at the 6.2. That feels like robbery.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we just did a video on him as well. So I got 3 first. I got the 103, the 110, the 112, and I traded away Kyler Murray. And I still don't think that's enough.
No, I don't think so. Either.
I ended up giving it up anyway because I think I have 2 2023 first rounds. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, in that Bravo league. So I just sold him now. I'm gonna bank on more of the talent. I might stack on wide receivers, depending on if Malik goes to a team that I like and I think he's going to be a starter. I might take a chance on Malik because I do have 3 firsts. Actually, I was stacking on first because I have the 102, the 103, the 105, the 110, the 111, the 112, all in 2022. So I'm really rebuilding here.
So the only problem with that, though, because some people have been doing that strategy, the only problem with that is when we actually get to draft night, it's going to be much harder to move up or down Do you know what I mean? Because you own most of the first round.
Yeah, 100%.
But still, if there's talent that you believe on, you just gotta hit. JPA just tweeted the Eagles'
Yeah,
betting odds to
Russell
acquire
Wilson.
Russell Wilson has shifted from 4,000 to only 500, plus 500 over the past week. Maybe, hey, Vegas always knows something. Let's just say that. All
I don't
right,
know
so
why. How
D
do they
Hop
know
and Josh
shit?
Jacobs off the board, and then Zach Wilson. I like it. Sorry.
Makes no sense. That was just it's just interesting how they know stuff. We need to keep it with the chat here.
Yeah.
People talk really fast now. They do slow chat. Saquon the 5-2 good value. I'm going now. Going with now. How the
No.
go
We
before Dobbins? Did we do
someone
that
asked how did
already?
Chubb go before Dobbins? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah. Good
We
question.
definitely have Dobbins ahead of Chubb, but at the same point, a lot of people are big Chubb believers. That sounds weird.
Because I'm Dobbin like I'm Dobbin. Big Chubb believers. I get it. I get you though. I get what you're saying.
Rose says, whenever I go win now, I am able to have a super chance to take year one, which, by the way, this year is a great year to hit that as a startup strategy. Then I go to liquidate all my players after week 5 the following season. If I trade during season early enough, then I'm typically able to move them over the next season. Makes sense. Be careful with Devontae Smith. Eagles were 31st in the league in wide receiver targets last year. Yes, they were, Brian. The Eagles were, no team threw the ball less than the Eagles. And, the video that we're about to release on him, why I think he's a buy low, and the video that we released on Jalen Hurts, both of those things put together is the reasons that I'm betting on Devontae Smith long term. But it's definitely, look, if Jalen's going to be the answer, then it's not good. But I don't think he's the answer.
Yeah.
Quote Nation says, video idea, rank the 2021 rookies after year one. One video for the quarterbacks, another for running backs, etc. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Quote
Put that
Nation,
in,
if you put that in our Discord, that would be good to see.
Yeah. I think that's good as well.
You want to catch up on some of the chat? We
Yeah.
see Jimmy G at the 6'6". Okay, that's too high. Got to be honest. I think that's a little too high there.
I mean, who else is this? Who else?
See, this is what happens when you risk not going quarterback early in a Superflex league. I mean, I definitely would have taken a lot of quarterbacks on the board over him, like Derek Carr, probably Kirk Cousins still available. But, hey, Jimmy's still young. He'll probably be a starter.
Jimmy is still young. Okay, I'm going to take a chance. Do I want to do this? If I go another wide receiver, I probably should because I should get another one. The question is, who do I want to take?
Take a chance on me. I'm going to do my very best.
Yeah, I'm going to go another wide receiver here. I mean, I'm going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown here.
Oh, that is really good value. How has he fallen that far?
Take another guy that I like and believe in.
Dude, your team looks great. You know, I'm big on heavy wide receivers, but still, I think that's a good-looking team.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, man. Thank you for your kind words.
Got you. Can you catch up with the chat for us?
Yeah, Dante said, I thought you were going to snipe me from Mac Jones. I think he was talking about you potentially. Stephen Day, I have good hopes for Tua, but I think this year will make or break him for sure.
I agree.
And we did a video on that, kind of explaining why I'm a little bit hesitant, but I am still believing in him. Zach, traded Burrow for JT straight up. Super flex. Other QBs would be Mahomes and Danny Dimes. Only running backs are Javonte Williams, Tony Pollard, and AJ Dillon.
Okay, first off, if I could flip JT for Burrow, I would do that in a heartbeat if it was straight up.
No doubt about it.
Superflex league, a lot of people aren't going to agree with that, but in 10 years, Burrow will still be in the league. Can we say the same about Jonathan Taylor? Probably won't be in the league still. It's like he probably will be in the league another, at this elite level, he'll probably only be there for the next 4-5 years. In the league, maybe 7 more years. So, and in Superflex, you have to value quarterbacks higher. So, to me, I don't even need to look at your team. I'm going to take Burrow personally. But, by the way, Zach, because there's so much hype on JT, you might be able to get more than just Burrow. So, maybe try and throw in a second. Maybe start with the first. Like, the most that he can do is counter. If he really loves JT, people will do a lot of things. I mean, we saw someone get what? I saw someone get 3 firsts.
Yeah, it was
Tua, and I think Devonta Smith on Twitter yesterday.
And there was one that we we graded as well, where he traded away JT and he got Jalen Waddle, Mac Jones, and a 2022 or 2023 first.
Yeah.
I think the longevity of those players are extremely big, especially when it comes down to Jonathan Taylor. So very
Zach Miller
interesting.
says, well, considering her owns the whole first, he owns the whole first, he can ask for a lot more for those picks and maybe pivot to some 23 first. Yeah, look,
Yeah,
it's all about
no doubt.
supply and demand, isn't it? That's true.
Exactly, and that's what's gonna happen here. I know, or maybe sell one of those players, early on before the season starts. Maybe that I get somebody that I'm not necessarily in love with, see if somebody else out there loves that player,
Yeah.
and try to flip him for a first. So yeah, absolutely.
Sleeper says he always
market.
ends up with Garrett in both drafts because he can't justify any other players on the board over the 102, 103. Makes sense. Jack wanted Henry. Hey, Storm Bucket, what's up, brother? Welcome back in. Rose says, what do you guys think about picking Ridley for a win now team? Is it too risky when going all in? I think the good
Man.
thing about Ridley, where did he go? I mean,
He went 6-12 there, and
yeah,
it's
for a
very
win now
interesting.
team, that's really, really good value, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting with Calvin. Have we done a
Although I
buy or
would have
sell?
taken Keenan over Calvin if I'm
Have we
win
done
now.
have we done a buy or sell on Calvin Ridley?
I don't think
No,
we
have
have.
we?
Should we do that?
Maybe we should. Yeah, it's interesting because he's in that weird range. He's like young, but he's not.
Yeah.
And like with all the problems that he's having personally, I'm on the clock here. I'm gonna go Hollywood Brown, the guy that we just did a video on here at the 7-4
Bro, but he's gonna go into professional gaming.
professional video game. I mean, hey, that's the rumor, so I'm taking a chance here at the 7-4.
Bro, it was reported by a reliable source. Aren't you worried?
Reliable source, 200 followers. I don't know if you know that.
And also the source was like cussing people out in the replies. So he's reliable. Yeah, I like the Hollywood pick there. You guys know I'm big on Hollywood. Zach says I have Burrow and he wants him for JT. I was leaning towards to not do it. Also, even though I see JT going early in startups, right? Yeah, we wouldn't do that. No, I mean you're gonna love it for like 2 years, and then you're not gonna like the funny thing is in 3 years from now, Burrow's trade value will be just as high, but Jonathan Taylor's will not be anywhere near.
I
what
would
it is
definitely
right
try
now.
to trade him for picks. I think if anything that you should do right now is trade on JT for
He
picks.
doesn't have picks. Oh yeah, he does. He does. Sorry. No, he
Yeah,
has
like
Burrow.
that.
He has Burrow.
Yeah, he has Burrow. Right.
He doesn't have
No,
JT.
he has Burrow, but he was trying to acquire JT, and if he did, he would have to give up Joe Burrow. Right.
No,
Makes
don't do
sense.
that.
Okay.
No.
Don't do that. Michael Carter, Aaron Jones, and Chris Olave. Then Drake London off the board. Michael Carter, I was hoping, even though I doubted it was going to happen, I was hoping that he was going to come back to me, but I'm okay because I have a couple other people I have in mind. Aaron Jones, the 7-6.
Okay, there's a
with Chris
particular
Olave and
player that
Drake
I would
London.
like to fall to me here. We'll see.
I think I know who it is.
There's
'cause
about
he
3
might be in
players
my
I have in
queue.
my mind.
He
We'll
might
see
be
if
on
I
my
get him.
queue, so.
Guys, I'm hella excited to release these profiles for you guys. By the way, I'm going to change it to 30 seconds. But I'm also going to try and show you guys what those look like. It's an imperfect science. We're aware of that. But we're really excited to share with you guys some rookie profiles. They'll be updated after the combine. Anyway, that will be over there on Patreon. We've been working really hard on that for the last couple months. So London's on the board. Ryan's got to make a decision here.
Bro, have you seen
Ayuk?
Justin Tuck, right?
Justin Tuck from the Giants?
Yeah, he tweeted out something saying that this has to stop. So there's a bunch of fans that are sending Justin Tucker fans to Justin Tuck and saying, "Hey man, I've been a huge fan of you," like with their player cards, saying, I hope you can sign my player
It's
card.
so funny. I
And
love
he's
that.
like, "This has to stop." It's so funny.
That's actually amazing. All right, beautiful. All right, who did you think it was, Badaki? Actually, don't say it. Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet, because I have 2
Is
picks.
it a running back? Is it a running back?
It's Jerry Jeudy.
Okay. Okay, never mind.
I love Jerry Jeudy. I know he's got a bad situation, but I still believe in the talent long term. And the fact that I get him as my wide receiver 4, he's 23. I'm in love with that. And then I was hoping Jameson might fall to me. Oh my God. You guys know that I'm a sucker for a good wide receiver room. Bang. Wow. My favorite wide receiver in the class at the 8-2. I love this wide receiver room. I know the running backs aren't strong. That's okay. I'll figure that out. throughout, the next year or so, trying to get some running backs on the squad. But sheesh, I love this wide receiver room.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I like Pittman, JJ, Devonta, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, these are guys that we all just did videos on. Well, besides, really just Devonta Smith and Jerry Jeudy not too long ago.
Quote Nation says, smash the like, people. 46 viewers, 34 likes. You do the math. Quick maths.
Please
21.
No. Please don't. I do not want to buy. Yeah, actually, let's do it. I'm down to eat some dog food. Let's switch it up here. Let's change the votes to dog. You can't even change it, I don't think.
Well, more people would have to vote for eating dog food if we hit the like goal. So
there goes Clyde.
But hey, guys, if you do want to show some love, it would mean a lot to us if you do drop the like. No pressure. All right, so we see Bateman off the board. I think that's really good value for Bateman. And by the way, Derek Carr at the 8-3. So we see Jimmy Garoppolo at the 6-6, which he probably, I'm just going to be honest, he probably should still be on the board. He probably shouldn't be drafted at this point. Mm-hmm. And you see Derek Carr at the 8-3. I think that's really good value. Clyde and Damian then go off the board. I think it's a little too early for Aaron Jones, in my opinion. You guys know that I'm all aboard trying to sell him. The value is only going to get worse and worse from here. So if you're drafting Aaron Jones in a startup, yes, he will be valuable, but you also have to realize you're not really going to be able to trade him. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably someone that has to retire on your team whenever he's done. And that's not the kind of assets I really want to leave a draft with personally, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Stephen Day says, what do you guys do to evaluate incoming rookies? Mostly your own tape and stats analysis, or listening to other evaluations also. So what we try and do, Stephen, is we try when we're doing this process to not look at what anyone else is saying, because it is really easy to see someone else's opinion on a rookie and adopt it as your own. But then it's not really your opinion, is it? Like, you can develop that into your opinion, but to start off, we don't really want to see what anyone's saying. So we look at individual games. So don't just look at highlights, because you're only going to see what you like. Choose 3 games at least to watch in full. Watch every snap of that player. And then we have specific categories that we rank them on a list from 1 to 10. Yeah. It is an imperfect science. Well. Yeah. It's an imperfect science. We're never going to get it 100% right. But essentially, we're looking at things like their vision, their overall speed, acceleration and burst, agility, elusiveness, pass catching ability. This is for running back specifically. Their ball security. Do they have a fumbling problem? Their overall strength, ability to break tackles, durability. And then we have a category that we list as the unexplainable it factor. And that's where we can really decide if this is a player that we're all in on. It's a little bit of a personal bias, but it's 1 out of 9 categories where we can say, hey, I'm all in on this guy. This is someone that I fully believe in for whatever reason. We also consider their dominator rating, what they were out of high school, what kind of recruit they were. And then we consider what could they be in the NFL? Who is a player that they could be? All that kind of wraps up. And I know it's not perfect. You can obviously look at player profiler. After we've done that, then we can go look and see what people have said. And we already have our own convictions, which kind of we see if someone has a good point. Hey, good point. Didn't see that. So I hope that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's so there's so much work that goes into it, and so much.
Oh my gosh, man!
And it's so easy to get skewed really fast. If you see a group of people saying they don't like somebody, it's like, whoa.
That's the thing with Isaiah Spiller. Like, I've been off of him since day one, and I'm so glad that I didn't listen to other people's opinions first, because like I want it to be my reasonings that I get back on the Spiller train. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to hear what everyone else is saying and be like, oh, well, I'm off. Let me get back on it. So Zach says, thank you guys. I got offered trades, and I was just wondering if I was biased because I drafted them as rookies. Love your content. Keep it up. Thanks for coming through the stream, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah, all love. Sleeper says, there are some seriously polarizing prospects in this class that are loved/hated by many. That is so true. Spiller, London, Jameson, Bell, all the quarterbacks. That's very true. Steven says, Thanks. Do you know how much the draft will impact your analysis? Draft capital and draft, where they land, it will
They
impact.
land,
Let's
yeah,
be honest. Like,
it's tremendous.
it will have a
No
big
doubt about
impact.
it. Mm-hmm.
What does the depth chart look like for the team that
Yeah.
they landed in? When will opportunities come? You bet on talent over situation, but it's definitely a big factor.
Yeah, 100%. And all these guys are gonna change. Like right now, we're just as we do our rookie mock drafts, we're saying hypotheticals. I like this guy going here, and this is probably why I would take him. Malik is the highest upside player, hoping that he goes to the Steelers. But if he goes somewhere that he's sitting behind a couple people for a couple years, maybe he still doesn't go in the top 3, or depending on how you want to draft. So it's definitely very interesting.
All right, let's talk about the players that went off the board. We got Kyron, Amari Cooper, Miles Sanders. I love the Pickens pick here at the 8-10. We're in the 8th round. Just take a shot on a guy who's got youth and insane talent. Like, for me, I can't go Michael Thomas. I know this is a win now team, but I just don't want him on my team. We see Allen Robinson, A.J. Dillon, Claypool, Pollard, Tony, Pat in the 9th. Great value than David Bell and Carson 100%. Strong. Sabri says thoughts on DJ Moore and 105 for AJ Brown. I would do that in a heartbeat. AJ Brown is a top 5 wide receiver for me in Dynasty. I have to double check my rankings, but for me, he's wide receiver 3. Sorry, he's my wide receiver 3. So for me, he's just a tier above, like, who I think you could get at the 105 and DJ Moore combined. So yeah, I would take AJ Brown in a heartbeat personally. I think what did I jack? If you're in the chat, what did we do? I traded someone for, I can't remember what it was, but I've been trying to acquire as much AJ Brown as I can this offseason.
You want to change the clock to 30 seconds?
Yes. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Remind me.
Don't
Connor says, who's your Kyron Williams comp? I mean, it's hard not to say Austin Eckler, really. But the issue is, and I'm all aboard Kyron Williams, but the issue is, that's like the ceiling. That's not the expectation. What if he's just a really elite third down running back? He's proven that he can take the workload. He can do it on the air and the ground. But what if in the NFL he's a really good third down running back, like a James White, a J.D. McKissick? But
I think I compared him to like a Myles Gaskin and like his workload and what if he doesn't get the opportunity, maybe he can be just as good or a little bit better than Myles Gaskin, and it's gonna be like kind of deflating.
The reality is because of the size, there's such a validity. A volatility. How good are words? In where what he could be in the NFL. Do you know what I mean? He's a polarizing prospect, but we'll have to see. All right, I'm going to change it to 30 seconds on the clock. Draft settings, 30 seconds, update. And then resume draft. Now I have to make a decision here quickly. Let's see what running backs are on the board at this point.
Please don't take the guy I'm hoping to come back to me.
Okay, I mean I'm totally fine to take Ramondre here.
Wow.
Was that who you wanted?
The guy I have on my queue. I took him over. I was gonna go Miles Sanders, Kadarius, and Ramondre because I was like, I'm just gonna get another running back because I knew Kadarius Tony probably would have been gone when I came around.
Yeah,
but
I mean, this is why I prefer getting elite wide receivers. I'll take a shot on running backs late.
Yeah, I don't mind Kadarius. I mean, Ramondre there.
All right, there's a massive. The Dynasty community is split on Dawson Knox. Some people think it's the quarterback he's attached to, and he's not talented. I think he's a talented guy. I think he's continually improving, and the fact of the matter is he is connected to Josh Allen. So I'm going to take him here in the 10th round.
Sleeper Marcus, if you're out there, this may be a big ask, but one thing I would like to see on the app is people's contracts.
That'd be cool.
When will their contract end and
contract status?
Contract status, because I always have to go to another source to look at the contract. What's this guy look like? So
yeah, it'd be cool if maybe it was like one of these little tabs here that you could choose.
Yeah. A contract up in blah 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 has an out, blah blah, and has the out. I don't think it matters of how much the price is, but just when their contract is going to expire on that team and if there is a potential out. But I don't know if that's something you can pass along, or maybe you can do it just out of curiosity.
Okay, so Jack said this was the trade I did with him. You gave me Lamar and Diggs for AJ Brown, Lawrence, and a first. I believe that was a 23 first, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really. Maybe it was 24. I don't remember. But you can see how there's value on both sides. Joe Chung says 102 for Javonte Williams, fair trade. Keep Javonte Williams. There's not a running back like Javonte Williams in this class.
I agree.
Jack says, Zach or Badaki, check the trade block in the Dynasty League. I will. I will after this stream.
You just send us something.
Did you send me a trade live?
He put somebody on the player block. He put bobbing like I'm Dobbins. Jack is in one of our Dynasty leagues.
Steven says, I'm digging y'all's live streams and how responsive you guys are. I'm sure it'll get more difficult as the channel grows, but for now, I hope y'all keep up the good work and engagement. Thanks, man. Yeah. It got like we have a different channel. We have our main channel, which is the Fantasyland football one, where we cover like DFS and redraft and stuff. It definitely is hard, but we always want to make sure we do our best to interact with you guys. Brian says, love me some Dawson Knox, and Steven loves Ramondre. Contract status would be a fire feature. Everyone agrees. How many rounds do y'all go? Normally we go round 15. We'll go to round 15, and then we'll do draft grades at the end.
I want to do a tight end here. I would go Schultz or Mike Gesicki, but I'm going to do Trey McBride.
I like it.
I'm keeping it young. Even though Schultz and technically Gesicki is still kind of young. I think Gesicki's like 27 or something like that, 26. Yeah, so I'm keeping it young with McBride there.
Oh, JPA just tweeted, the Panthers called the Vikings about quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Oh, shit. This is why you shouldn't have taken him at the 111, because you're going to have a shit quarterback for JJ.
But honestly, like, how are the Vikings going to improve from Kirk Cousins this year? They're not going to trade him away.
For sure. I know. It's hard. I mean, you just love Kirk. You want him to be successful.
You like that? Dude, we need to make that feature where someone drops a like. There's like a Kirk Cousin thing that comes in. Like, you like that?
I don't know how that works, though. Can you get, like, features of, like, a notifications when somebody likes it?
No, but I mean, if you could, like, on the little button thing that you have, push it every once in a while. That could be funny. All right, Tannehill, Gabe, Matt Corral, Kendrick Bourne. All right, Tommy, you're going 2 Pats heavy here. Come on, bro. There's better players on the board. You know that. Sam Howell, Dotson, McBride, Brandon Cooks, Juju, one of my favorite buy lows, video coming out soon. Then we see Mikey Will and Kareem the Dream Hunt, Leonard Fournette and Alexander Madison and Badaki. Badake like cake is on the board here at the 11.4. What's the move?
I'm struggling. This is where you panic. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna take the next play available. Honestly, Christian Watson. I know this is probably too high, but I don't know.
That's why I mean you got it. You've got the ability to use your Q, bro. I can't even use my Q because everyone's gonna see it.
I wasn't thinking now that the clock is so less, but I'm still okay with that.
I'm just looking at my personal rankings and like trying to see if any players that I have ranked higher are still there every time.
Wide receiver 5 is not terrible, I guess.
Yeah.
Sleeper Market says definitely had the request before. We love our Dynasty users, so it's possible eventually, but I wouldn't get your hopes up because hardly any of our redraft users would use it. Right.
That's true. But to be fair, I feel like, I mean, Sleeper Markets might have the analytics on this, but what's the percentage of Dynasty leagues, people who play Dynasty who use Sleeper? It's got to be massively high. I feel like 90% of people use Sleeper for Dynasty. I mean, it's just the go-to. James Cook off the board, then James Conner. Sean says, how much a team is paying for and how long for could be an insight into how the team values and wants to use them, for sure. Ro says, Tuvo Shakur versus Jack. Who wins in 2022? It looks like both of these guys are going win now.
True. That's actually not a bad little fun game there. Let's see.
Sabri says, thanks for the help on AJ Brown. How about Fields? 102, 104 for Dak and Tyreek. I have Lance as well.
Okay, I think so. Justin Fields, the 102, 104 for Dak.
The question that you have to answer is, what's the direction of your team? Like, are you building futuristic? Because if you are, then I would keep the Fields. It looks like you have Lance, so maybe it is wise to keep Fields. I think Fields is probably going to be more valuable than Dak this time next year. That's because I really believe in him. So does Badaki. So for me, it comes down to, do I want Tyreek or the 102 and 104? And if I'm a futuristic team, as much as I love Tyreek, I would try and hit on one of those good wide receivers in this draft early. So I think I'm taking the field side.
Yeah, I'm taking the field side as well. I don't think I want to trade for Dak or Tyreek at this very moment.
I'm actually fine to trade for him, but I just think I prefer those players more.
Yeah, I think, and that's what I mean by saying that. I don't think I want to trade for somebody and like go a completely different direction. I think, like Zach said, which direction you want to go. Do you want to go more of like a win now, get some of these guys that can kind of get you that championship immediately, or go the other way? Still young. I mean, you can get some good talent at the 102 and the 104. So.
All right, I'm going to go one of my favorite players in this draft. There are still two of my sleeper wide receivers on the board. I'm going to take Sky Moore here at the 11-11. I truly think he's going to skyrocket after the combine and closer to the draft. I mean, we could be talking about him in the second round.
Yeah, Sky Moore is interesting.
We see Penny off the board. There's one more player that I'm hoping to snag here, and that's another rookie. I'm taking shots on guys that I think are very talented. I'm going to grab Rashad White here. 6'2" running back. Comped him to Cordero Patterson.
Patterson, yeah. Jalen
Watermeyer off the board. Connor says, am I crazy or was that good value for Fournette? Fournette at the 11-2. Considering you're a win now team, I think that's good value. Yeah. A lot of people, when they see Fournette on the board, are going to ask themselves, do I want a 26-year-old running back who, isn't attached to Tom Brady anymore? But if they get a veteran quarterback like they're planning on, then Fournette could be great value. Steven says, unless that team is a Patriots and the player is Aguilar or Jonnu, right?
Yeah, it's crazy how Tampa is like a desirable place to be now.
Right? Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, oh, Tom Brady went there? Sure, let's go.
Well, it's just like the team around them. Like we've seen Tom Brady win. That's why I said Watson. I feel like his best destination would be Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Reach for this guy. What's up, Trippy? Hey, bro. Better late than never. Welcome in. Hope your day's been good.
You got to do your thing. I'm gonna take my sleeper running back. Technically not a sleeper, I don't think. He's my RB2 in this draft class, and that's Jerome Ford.
That's great value for him there. Actually, I have him ranked higher than Rashad. I just missed him in the ADP.
Yeah, I think he is a tremendous guy. This is a guy that I'm looking for in the NFL Combine. Seeing how he's performed, he can either be a workhorse or he can just be a guy that gets lost in the depth chart. So I'm really hoping that he gets the opportunity.
You're hoping he's the former rather than the latter.
Yeah, man.
Everyone's using the ladder emoji now on Twitter. Sabri says, I have Lance, JT, Najee, Chase, DJ Moore, Ayuk, Hawk, so I figured Fields and picks for Dak, Tyreek, Brandon Cooks, and Williams could push me over the edge to win now. I honestly think that you're better off in a year's time if you keep the side of the Fields and the picks. You could get a Burks maybe there. You could get a Wilson, a Olave, a London, a Jameson. You could literally bank on two of these top wide receivers, and maybe only one of them pans out. But still, I think you're better off long term. And Jack's talking about Fournette's going to test free agency. I actually didn't see that yet, so that is very interesting to think about Fournette testing free agency. He's probably not going to be in a better situation when you think about it.
Gosh. Jordan Love and Davis Mills were on my queue there. And you know what? I'm just going to go with my heart here. My beloved New York Football Giants. I'm hoping Brian Dable's going to switch it around.
Oh, no.
QB3.
Best
pick of the draft so far.
Is that your analysis?
Yeah.
Best pick of the draft, Daniel Jones. We got Kenny Gainwell at the 13-5. Just trying to figure out what I want to do next with my team. Patterson at the 12-6. He's 30. I think he'll be 31 soon. Maybe not a pick I would have made. Mechie at the 12-10. I love the Jordan Love pick here at the 13-2. I might not even take Baker Mayfield. But I guess it's a win now team, so you want a third quarterback that's a starter. We see Gesicki, DJ Chark, who's being massively undervalued, and Tyler Algier.
I've seen Tyler Algier as like some people's top 5 running back in this
Some
draft.
people have him very highly ranked.
I was like, whoa, bro. Okay. I mean, I don't see him that way, but I mean, I would love to be proven wrong for sure. It's definitely interesting though.
I want to be proven right, actually.
Jackson
But
Fournette's gonna test free agency. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, we'll see. I think ideally he wants to stay there. If Deshaun goes to the Bucks, he definitely wants to stay.
I'm gonna grab Chuba here. I mean, there's been talks about CMC being traded, so why not take a shot on a guy, you know, late? Is that Zamir or Zaquandre? Guys, I fell in. Okay, it's Zamir. I'll be quiet for now then.
Not even invited. There's a video coming out on him. Bro, I love double tapping QBs when building win now after securing backups to wide receivers and running backs to make sure injuries don't torpedo my win now window.
I'm gonna grab Shakira.
Wow.
Talk it up.
I think at this point, let's just bet on players that we see value in, you know.
Talk it up, man. I love Shakira. If you guys don't know who Shakira is, look him up. That's all I gotta say.
Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that. Second round, 2.2. Kyron Williams, Jay Ford on the board. Both land in similar roles. Who are you taking? I'm going Kyron Williams. Badaki's probably going Jerome Ford, I imagine.
Second round.
Let's say you're at the 2-2 in a rookie draft, and they're both on the board in similar roles.
Oh man, that is really hard. I would definitely be taking Jerome. It really, 100%. It really depends on the team. But yeah, I mean, similar situations. I'm still gonna go Jerome because I believe in him.
I'm going Kyron. There. I just think he has a higher upside.
Sleeper.
Round 15.
We're gonna go 15 rounds.
Steven, I definitely agree. Algier will be a really interesting prospect to look at the combine. I guess when I watched him on tape, he did a lot of things well. He kind of like, there's this category of running backs who they did a lot of things really, really well in college. Yeah, but there's nothing.
Come on, dude.
You know, there's nothing that we can point to and look at and say he was elite in this area, and it will be a reason that he succeeds in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think, is BYU independent still? Yeah. So I mean, the competition was up and down. I mean, the workload was very impressive. He's a real wild card.
Yeah, for us, I think there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of good running backs that did just everything well, and I think that's how we see Isaiah Spiller.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not me. No, I don't. I just think he's a really good like pass catcher. I don't think he does many things well outside of that.
And
Sorry.
I think Isaiah does. For me, I guess then I think Isaiah, he does a lot of things well, which makes me kind of just consider, well, he's not gonna just be good. Oh my gosh. Back in '82, what a pick though. Nico's a guy.
You got sniped?
I did get sniped. You know what? I'm just gonna get my backup here. They re-signed him again, another year or two.
You know what's bad is I was thinking about Spiller, and I said to myself, what's the worst that he could be in the NFL? Like, what's the worst that he could be?
I don't think.
Well, I had a comp. If you want to hear it.
Okay. Sorry.
I thought of Darrell Williams with the Chiefs. Like, that's the kind of role I could see him maybe having. Like, this year's Darrell Williams, that's the sort of role, like, maybe that is the worst that he could be. That's still a valuable guy. But, yeah, I just wasn't impressed with many of the key things that I need to see from a running back. The vision was okay. Doesn't have great long-term speed. He is twitchy. I don't know, man. I'm just not in love with him. I want to be convinced on my own, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
OBJ at the 14 is great. Irv, Ronald, Cedric Wilson. Laviska Shenault was probably going in the 7th round of Dynasty Startups last year. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I can guarantee you I took Laviska in the 7th.
And Brevin Jordan. I love that. I love that pick there at the 15-3. I'm a big Brevin guy.
Good Brevs. I'm going to take my other guy. Hold on. Yeah, I'll
Do you
take
guys
another
think
time.
Kamara is worth a first round pick? Um,
I think
definitely
he.
not an early to mid first round pick.
I think
Maybe
he
a
is.
late, depending
Yeah, I
on
think.
your team construction.
Yeah, I think he's late. I think he can definitely sneak in maybe a 9 and under
Mm.
or 9 and above. Sorry, so like 1.9, 10, 11, 12. I think you can get that for him. Maybe package him with somebody low.
The only
To
issue
lead
is,
that first.
we don't like to hound age, but you're betting on a player that's halfway through his second contract.
Yeah,
It's
I
typically
get
not
it.
guys you want to invest into their future because the player selling them has already really gotten the most out of them, you know. So that's where my hesitation is on him. I'm gonna try and move our faces up. Is
Trippy, yeah,
this is this okay?
that's fine. Trippy, I don't see a comment there.
What do you
You
say?
said in the meeting, so you can't look at my last comment. Sorry, I just don't feel like typing out
You
again.
said all
I,
we see is the one when you said you were late,
yeah, sorry,
my
I would
guy.
come in late in the meeting, so maybe copy and paste it again potentially. Could be wrong.
Okay, what do I want to do here?
Somebody said Curtis Samuel in the chat for you, brother. Back in '82.
Oh, great idea. Well
Make it quick.
done. That's a great suggestion right there. I love that. That's actually it's very rare that the chat backs you instead of snipes you. Now that is a real friend right there. All right, let's end the draft. Let's start some draft grades. Sorry, I have to end draft.
On Twitch, sorry, whoever's on Twitch, I'm sorry we've been neglecting
Oh
you.
no, I feel
I'm
so
so
bad.
sorry.
Oh, it's Sean. It's Sean. He probably transitioned to the YouTube chat. I feel so bad because like sometimes we get people watching on Twitch, other times no one's there. So
You want
most
to
of the time we
grow that
focus on YouTube.
community, but sometimes it's just really hard to do
But
that.
he did ask a question. Half PPR Dynasty just won the first year, looking to go back to back. My wide receivers are Adams, DK, Lamb, Sutton, Mooney, Myers. Start 3 to 4 each week. Do I stick with these, trade, or acquire some others? So you have Adams, DK, Lamb. Those are 3 guys that unquestionably you can start every week next year. Mooney, Myers. Is there enough? Maybe Mooney continues his breakout, but if I'm truly a win now team, I might look to maybe acquire, because I'm assuming you're using these for your flex as well. Maybe I might look to upgrade from Mooney with picks, and still try and get someone young who I can rely on.
Yeah, I'm thinking the opposite. Maybe you know, let's just say Aaron Rodgers stays for another year and Adam does stay for another year. Then maybe you trade Adams and get a couple picks. Get a pick maybe. Try to get a solidified wide receiver in this. Maybe you want to get a Drake London. Hopefully he lands in a good spot. Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson, whatever the case may be. Because I like DK Sutton and Mooney because I believe in Justin Fields. That's my thought process.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and start draft grades? By the way, Sean, I appreciate you over there on Twitch. Sorry that we neglected Twitch today.
Yeah, it's so hard. Jack, my brother, the 101, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Allen Robinson, Mike Williams, Wandale, Adam Thielen, Cedric Wilson, excuse me, with Austin Eckler, Kenneth Walker, AJ Dillon, Kareem Hunt, and
Sorry, just quickly,
Rojo.
could you imagine Wandale getting drafted to the Cardinals and Rondale and Wandale? That would be awful. That would be an announcer's nightmare.
It would be, but yeah, it would be. With Darren Waller. I think it's clear it's a win now team here. Obviously, besides your running backs, I think your weakest point here is your running back room. I like your wide receiver room with Calvin, Allen Robinson, and Devontae Adams. I think with Mike Williams, no matter where these guys go, hopefully these guys will get at a good position and contribute. We all seen it before. I think the running back room, once again, Kenneth Walker, if he goes to a place he can contribute, absolutely. AJ Dillon, he's probably get a 50-50. Kareem Hunt, a 50-50. So I think overall it's a decent team, more of a win now team. I'm just gonna give it a B flat purely because it's a lot of question marks still. Aaron Rodgers, where is he going? Calvin, where is he going? Allen Robinson, what's happening? So that's my thought process.
Yeah, Trippy, we didn't see the message. Are you sending it in the YouTube chat? I saw a message over there on Discord from you, but I didn't see anyone here on YouTube. On YouTube. Jeez. I have like fog in my head. Okay. By the way, I just want to clarify. These grades are our grades. Dynasty is not black and white. These are our opinions. We're giving out grades. They will be opinionated. If you don't agree, that's okay. But hopefully we share something good with you that you might be like, yeah, okay. All right. So Team 2, we definitely are going all in with this squad. Our running backs are Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette. Great running back room. Outside of JT, there's not much longevity there. You could argue maybe Saquon. But I see it for a win now team. Wide receivers are Cooper Kupp, Michael Thomas, Chase Claypool, Juju, and Shenault. Now, this is a big area of weakness. This is a league where you can start 4 wide receivers at any time. So the fact that we're relying on Michael Thomas, Claypool, and Juju, I don't feel super comfortable there relying on these guys. I think you got to get better wide receivers if you're going to do a win now strat. Kelsey at the 411, I get it for a win now, and then Irv. And then your quarterbacks are Stafford, Cousins, Mayfield, Love. So my only qualm here, if you're trying to do a win now strategy, honestly, is the wide receivers. Even though you win now, maybe you grab a wide receiver at the 411 instead of Kelsey. I get why you took Kelsey, but Thomas is my wide receiver 2, Claypool is my 3, and Juju as my 4. While I believe in Claypool and Juju, I'm not sure that these are the wide receivers to carry you to a win now strat. Maybe you manipulate the trade market, but that's gonna be involved in my grade, which is a B flat. I hope that makes sense.
Bro, really random. Look at Tommy's Instagram.
Tommy who?
Buckley.
Oh, Tommy, your boy Bricks?
I think it's pretty cool, but we'll talk about it later. Anyways, Sacker, 1.3. Justin Herbert, Malik Willis, Davis Mills with CMC, Alvin Kamara, Tony Pollard, Alexander Madison. Then you have Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen, George Pickens, Brandon Cooks, John Mechie, OBJ with Mark Andrews and Brevin Jordan. Let's start in your quarterback room. It makes sense. I'm assuming you're hoping that Malik goes to a spot that he's going to start right away so he can be your starter with Davis Mills being your third quarterback, which I think is decent. Looking back at Davis Mills, he does have he could be something in my opinion. Not anything crazy, but he could be something at least. Your running back room, I think this is where it falls off to me. CMC, Alvin Kamara, good, strong guys, but then Tony Pollard and Alexander Madison, these are some backup roles, spell back guys that probably doesn't get a lot of workload, a lot of work on the field. So, who's going to be this third down guy or this third running back guy once or if CMC and Kamara goes down? That's my only downfall here. And your wide receivers, I think, are decent with, I like Deontay, Keenan, George Pickens surely should be a starter somewhere. Wide receiver 1 with Brandon Cooks. And hopefully OBJ, we'll see what happens in the year after if he does re-sign. I think this team is decent. I like Mark Andrews and Brevin Jordan, by the way. It's decent. I think it's another B-flat team. It's not amazing, but it's definitely good.
Okay. Hey, what's the highest video on today's recordings? What's the highest number? I'm assuming it starts at 38. Where does it end? Sorry, guys.
Let me tell you. This is all for the videos that we recorded today, guys.
Yeah.
42.
It ends at 42? No way.
No, it ends at 46. My bad.
Okay, cool. All right, back in 82, we got Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Kyle Trask. Wide receivers are Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Jahan Dotson, DPJ, and Nico. Running backs are Brees, Isaiah, Michael Carter, James Cook, Kenneth Gainwell. We are going super young at the running back room, betting on the talent, and the tight end is Pat the Dragon Freiermuth. I like the quarterbacks, Lamar and Russ. That's 2 great pillars to build around. The wide receiver room, I like. You got Tyreek, DJ, Amari. I have to be honest, though, I don't know if Tyreek would have been my choice here based off of my rankings. I do think I would have taken T. Higgins over him. Was DK on the board? I probably would have taken DK over him, but that's just my personal rankings. Cooper's good value, considering where you got him. Dotson, I like him in the 10th round. Let's bet on a high upside player. So this is a good team. You're not extremely solidified at any position outside of quarterback and tight end. So your running backs and wide receivers, while there's a lot there, there's not a bunch of security. But I like this team. This is a B plus for me. I'll give this a B plus.
Yeah. 1.6. Joey B, Kenny Pickett, Sam. How are you going with the young quarterbacks here? 2 rookie quarterbacks with Joey Burrow. Then you got Kyle Pitts, Cole Kmet, Mike Gesicki. Then you got DK Metcalf, Treylon Burks, David Bell, Jalen Tolbert with Jacoby Myers, a young wide receiver room. And then you have Travis Etienne, Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams, James Conner. I'm just trying to think here. Look, it makes sense. I think one thing that Zach said earlier, Aaron Jones, a guy that I probably would have strayed away from, even though, I see the decline coming really fast. I would have taken a chance on a Ramondre at the 7-6, maybe even a Clyde, a Damian Harris,
Miles Sanders.
A Miles Sanders. Yeah, exactly. At the 7-6 over Aaron Jones. We've seen that this workload starting to even. It's crazy that we're saying this because he's finished as a top 15, top 12 running back.
Right.
Still, but you can see the turn happening slowly but surely.
Yeah.
So I think
AJ's
it's time
sneaking up.
Yeah, it's time to kind of get rid of him. But that's what I would have done differently. I love Travis Etienne at the 5-6. Treylon Burks was the first rookie off the board there. Would I have gone somewhere else? Potentially. Like, I think I still would have gone Elijah Moore. I would have taken Devonta Smith potentially, but it all depends. I get Treylon Burks the best.
I think that's okay value for Burks there. I mean, that's the 101 for most people.
Yeah, exactly. This is the 101, so it definitely makes sense. But other than that, once again, another team that I'm not necessarily in love with, but I see the talent and where like you have good foundations. Another team that is just a B for me, and I like Kyle Pitts at the 2-7. If you know me, I would rather get tight ends at the end, kind of like you got Mike Gesicki at the 3-6. I mean, nowhere near Kyle Pitts production. Like you could have had Javonte Williams, you could have had Tyreek, you could have had somebody, but that's why I'm saying maybe I would have strayed away from the tight end so early. But other than that, I think it's just another decent team. It's just a good foundation. It's just a B flat for me again.
I have to always back my guy Pitts. I think anywhere in the second round, anywhere, I'm okay. I think you can justify it. A lot of people won't agree with me there, but I just always have to back my guy. You guys know. I have a weird obsession with Kyle Pitts. But I think it's natural. I think it's okay. All right, Tommy. Your running backs are Najee Harris, Joe Moneybags Mixon, Damian Harris, Zach Moss, Cordell Patterson, James Robinson, Gus the Bus. Wide receivers, Debo, Diggs, Olave, Kendrick Bourne, DJ Chark. Tight end is Hawkinson. Quarterbacks, we're real weak here at quarterback, Jimmy G and Carson Strong. Okay. So there is quite a few things I would do differently, Tommy, and I don't remember if this is true, but I think you are pretty new to Dynasty. Let me know if not. I could be wrong, but there's a lot of things we could have done differently here. First off, Jimmy G at the 6-6, nah. Jimmy G should be going around where Daniel Jones is, Jordan Love, right? He should be a 13th round pick around that area. Carson Strong. Probably should have bet on guys like Tannehill, who are currently in the league. So I'm not a fan of these quarterbacks. I'm just going to be honest. I like the running back room, and I'm okay with the tight end that you got. Debo, I'm not taking him this early personally just because of the injury history. And then Kendrick Bourne at the 10-6. You're a Pats fan. Tommy says I never did Dynasty, my first mock in Dynasty. Yeah, so there's just Dynasty is the same language, but it looks just slightly different. You know how when you're changing your keyboard and it's like, do you want to use English UK, English United States, English Australia, right? Like there's just different things that we have to learn. So you can see here, you didn't go quarterback early, and that really hurt the quarterbacks that you got. Kendrick Bourne, this is way, way too early for KB. I mean, Jahan's on the board, Juju's on the board, Mike Williams. So look, this is a C+ team, but there is a lot of learning to do here. Like, this is why we mock. You know what I mean?
Look, I think you started off really well.
Yeah.
From
1 to 5, you
maybe
can say these are
yeah.
all good picks.
And I think from Jimmy G, like the easiest thing you could have done there is taken either a rookie quarterback or Tua was still on the board. You could have
Tua
gone
wasn't
any.
on the board, but I mean, Cousins was
Oh yeah,
there,
he was.
Derek
Cousin was
Carr.
there. Yeah, Pickens, and you go with one of these rookie quarterbacks, and they'll be like, okay, we can understand because you went Chris Olave,
Mm,
Damian Harris makes sense a little bit. Probably would have gone Ramondre there, but it makes sense. It makes sense. So you're not far off. You started off really strong, and then it kind of fell off. So
yeah. Hey, there's a couple questions in the chat. We'll get to that right after these grades.
okay, Sleeper Marcus, Kyler Murray, Zach Wilson, Matt Corral, Jared Golf.
Goal.
CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, my number one wide receiver, with Drake London, Michael Gallup, and Christian Kirk. I love your wide receiver room there. Then your running backs are Jake, Bobby like Dobbins, J.K., Clyde, Devin Singletary, Tyler Allgeier, with Noah Fant. And I think the biggest thing for me is the drop off of the running back room. Even though you do have Devin Singletary as your quote unquote RB3, but hey, you never know because Singletary did have a little glimpse at the end of the season there. So I guess the running back room is decent with Tyler Allgeier hopefully being a place that he can kind of back up just in case somebody gets hurt. I love Kyler Murray, Zach Wilson. I like Noah Fant where you got him there at the 9-8. I like this team. I think this is like a B plus A minus. Your wide receiver rooms is really strong for me, and I like JK.
Yeah.
I'm still a believer in Clyde. That's my problem. I still believe in him.
That's my problem. No, I think it's a good team. No, I agree A minus. I'm just not a Fant believer.
Okay.
I would have taken McBride, Goddard, Knox probably
Goddard.
over him.
Right, that makes sense. I mean, hey, this guy is still young. 25, 24 years old. I mean,
Yeah. It is
if Aaron
probably
Rodgers-
too early to give up on him, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that we need to do. But if Aaron Rodgers goes to Broncos, my goodness, what he can be.
But what if he doesn't?
But if he doesn't, I mean, hey, who knows?
Okay, what did you say? A minus?
Yeah, I'll give it A minus.
All right, Ryan. We got Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, and Rashad Bateman, Gabe Davis, Josh Palmer. Really, really good wide receiver room. Fantastic. Quarterbacks are Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, and Jameis Winston. Running backs are Josh Jacobs, Zeke, Chase Edmonds, and Kenny Vaughn, and tight end is Dalton Schultz. I think you did a really good job, Ryan, of getting value in each round. Okay? And when I say that, I'm not a Jalen Hurts believer, but I do think it's probably decent value here at the 4-4. Same with Trevor Lawrence at the 3-9. I still believe in him. You got your first running back in Josh Jacobs, who's only 24 years old, just finished as a top 12 guy in the 6th round. You got Zeke. No one wants him, but you got him in the 9th round. You got Dalton Schultz, top 3 tight end last year, only 25 years old, in the 12th round. So I think you did a really good job of making sure you got value at each pick. However, I'm not a Hurts guy. So that will come into my grade of the team. I am giving this a B plus. This is a B plus. It's just not an A minus.
If he had Tua there, if Tua went at the 4-4, Mac Jones went at the 4-4, it's just an A plus.
No. So, well, that's the thing. That's what, like, in my mind, don't waste a pick on Hurts. Get Dobbins, get Burks, get Elijah Moore, and then here at the 5-9, you had an option between Tua and Mac. You know what I mean? Which are both players I would rather have over Jalen in Dynasty. So. But man, I think you should be proud of this draft with the value you got at each pick.
All right, D. Lawrence here. Say hi to Blaze. You see here? What?
Blazy.
All right. D. Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence. Sorry, Trey Lance, Derek Carr, and Ryan Tannehill with Swift, Chubb, Akers, and Brian Robinson there at the bottom. George Kittle, Jalen Watermeyer, and then you got D-Hop, Darnell Mooney, Rondell Moore, Cortland Sutton, Roberto Woods, and Van Jefferson. Look, I like that you got these running backs, okay? I think you got Chubb too early. I get it. He's still in that turn there, 26 years old. He does have an opportunity, but I would have taken, Gibson and Akers. I would have taken Dominant Akers. I would have taken, Elijah Mitchell and Akers,
Okay.
over Nick Chubb. I know Zach is probably not the biggest fan of Akers, so he probably would have that combination could have been a little bit different.
Yeah, I'm
But
not an Akers guy, but still, I agree with Gibson and
yeah,
probably Cook and Dobbins. Mitchell.
yeah. So and then it goes down to your wide receivers. D Hop, I think is decent there. Place. Can you leave it?
I'm trying to do a stream, Blaze.
Honestly, so now I have to give her a bottle so she can shut up, and I was gonna be hella loud. So now I have to talk into the mic. All right. So then you got D Hop with Darnell Mooney, and I think this is where it falls off because I don't know who's your solidified wide receiver two here. Technically, it's supposed to be Darnell Mooney,
Yeah.
but we don't know what that looks like. So I think the wide receiver room is really weak here.
Also long term, with D Hop.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was gonna say. With D Hop, with the age and everything, what could he have done differently? Here's another example. Once again, you could have gone Hollywood here. Maybe Jerry Jeudy at the 6'3" and then taken a Darnell
or even
Mooney.
a 7'10".
Yeah, things like that. So it's a little bit difficult to kind of really put my hand on where or my finger on like where you were going here because you have youth in the quarterback, and then older with the quarterbacks, and the same thing with the running backs, kind of. But for me, once again, I'm not in love with the team, but good foundational pieces in each and every position. It's just a B flat, another B flat team for me.
All right, Dante. You got Dak Prescott, Mac Attack Jones, Desmond Ritter. Man, the whole community is so up and down on him. AJ Brown, Terry, Scary, McLaurin, Mike Evans, Hunter has got a Renfro. Tyler Lockett, Justin Ross. Running backs are Dalvin Cook, David Monty, Rashad Penny, Zamir White. I actually was hoping that this was Zaquandre White because I'll tell you what, I fell in love with Zaquandre White last week after reviewing his film. Very interesting story. We're not talking about him right now, but look out for Zaquandre White, guys. There's going to be content coming about him. Anyway, tight ends are Goddard and Isaiah Likely. Isaiah likely to be drafted. Someone help me. All right, I like the quarterbacks. I like Dak. I think it's good value where you got him there. I like Mac Jones. I think 512 is very, very good value. Love your first two wide receivers. I'm not a big Mike Evans guy, but still, Renfro, Mike Evans, both one of them will serve as your wide receiver 3. Lockett's undervalued. So I think the wide receiver room is great. Running back room is good enough for me. A lot of people want so much depth at running back in Dynasty in a position that lasts, the least amount of time. But I'm good with the running backs that you have here. Obviously, you would want more depth, but obviously in a real Dynasty startup, there's more picks. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Goddard. It's a good team. It's not solid in any particular area outside of the wide receivers, in my opinion. There's still question marks in the other areas. So I'm gonna give this. This is a B. This is a B flat for me. Who is the mock drafter of the night then? Who do we have the highest grade on?
I think it's Sleeper Marcus, brother Sleeper here.
Sleeper Marcus?
Sleeper himself.
Congratulations,
man.
Sleeper Marcus.
Remember, guys, this is all our thought process. This is not set in stone. This is just our opinions. Just because, we don't think you have the best team doesn't mean your team is bad.
Yeah.
So, just a thought process, man. Just a thought process.
Let's answer some of these questions real quick.
Okay.
Connor's
been going for a while.
Yeah. Connor said, at what point is Rodgers a good value since his future is so up in the air? So where did Rodgers go here?
On the 412 here. And
I think you're only going to see win now teams draft him, to be honest. But it's difficult because he could retire this year. He could retire next year.
For me, I'm just completely avoiding Rodgers at all costs. I just don't want to take the risk. Like at the 412, who else could he have gotten there? Like there's so much value that you could have gotten off the board. Elijah Mitchell, you could have had another Elijah Mitchell, Travis Etienne, one of these rookies, George Kittle if you wanted to, Mac Jones if you wanted to go there. It's just there's just too much risk and like, hey, I'm just gonna do a 1 year, I don't know, win now.
Yeah.
If it's a win now team, it's so difficult because you're trying to go for the win now aspect, but I just don't know if I still want to do that.
I'll say this: the only way I'm drafting him is if I am doing a win now strategy, and it has to be probably in the 5th round, mid into 5th round. So I probably won't have a lot of him. Trippy says, let's find out what Trippy was saying here. He said, what is a respectable value as far as draft picks to get back from trading Darnell Mooney away? This would be 12-team Superflex PPR. I think an early second you could probably do. Badaki, do you agree? Early second?
Yeah, I wouldn't give it first for Mooney. An early second, maybe from the 2-1, maybe to the 2-4, 2-5-ish.
He's probably a better hold than anything at this point, though, to be honest with you.
Darnell Mooney could be a guy that we can be talking about going where Michael Pittman, Elijah Moore is kind of going right here this year.
Yeah.
Because the expectation with Justin Fields and Mooney connection, Mooney's the number one guy there at the moment. Unless they draft somebody big, so we'll see.
M. Flynn 22 says, would you trade Watson for Elijah Mitchell, Baker, and CD? It's a 12-team Superflex league.
Wow.
That's a really tough one, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, so what? It's Deshaun Watson for Elijah Mitchell, Baker, and CD. I think I would have to look at my team construction and say, who are my other quarterbacks?
You know what? I would probably say yes if you can trade that Baker for at least a late first or an early second.
You're not going to.
Yeah,
but maybe you can move Baker for a Davis Mills.
Yeah, that could be something.
For maybe a Ryan Tannehill if you give a piece. Maybe
the thing is,
a Kirk Cousins if you add like a second or something. So I think I would consider that for sure.
At the moment, so up in the air with Watson, the expectation that we hope he plays. But Elijah Mitchell, you have another 3-4 years out of him, maybe 4 to 5 actually, and then CeeDee Lamb. He's only 22 years old, so you're hopefully getting another 8 years out of CeeDee Lamb.
Crazy that we're talking about a 26-year-old quarterback, and we're saying the other side is more secure, but it kind of is.
I mean, it kind of is right now.
Trippy said, with annually paying, do you have to pay $100 up front or $9 automatically over each month? So yeah, when you do sign up to our Patreon, we have added the yearly subscription option, which allows you to get a 10% discount. So essentially what that means is you would pay for the entire year at a 10% discount. And then you don't think about it until the next year. So that's an option that we wanted to offer for people. A lot of people we're asking if that would ever be an option. So that is something that you can consider if you want a little discount. You don't want to think about it every month. Connor says, I wish I could make my own ADP set in sleeper drafts. It would be so much easier to draft. Yeah, there are apps that allow you to do that. Like Fantasy Pros has their own
ADP. Like
what do they call it?
Cheat draft. It's like
a cheat sheet. A lot of websites do cheat sheets.
Like
yeah. The cool thing about the Fantasy Pros one, you can't really do it in mocks, but actually, it would be awesome if Sleeper had that as well, by the way. It would be awesome if they had like a cheat sheet feature. But Sleeper allows you to, Fantasy Pros, if you have a cheat sheet there, you can actually use it while you're drafting so you can see your rankings compared to the board. It's pretty cool.
And it updates as you're drafting as well, and it takes away those
super
players.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Ro, thanks for coming through, my guys. Thanks for coming through, Sleeper. He said, I better be pretty good at drafting value. I'm in more than a few dynasty leagues. I love it. Ro says, I chose Kelsey at the 411 because of the positional advantage. I definitely get that. He says, instead of Kelsey, what wide receiver would you have gone with at the 411? Honestly, at the 411,
the people that were still on the board, maybe.
Well, the thing is, if he is going win now, that's probably the right move, right? It probably is the right move to go Travis Kelce there. But if I'm just looking at wide receivers, I probably would take maybe a guy like DJ Moore, maybe over him. But I think you make a good point there. Raver says, thank you guys for hosting once again. I really do appreciate the constructive criticism every time. It really helps sharpen my Dynasty game. Cheers. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Huge love.
Yeah.
And then Trippy, what's his last question here?
I said, what is a respectable value as far as draft picks to get back from trading Darnell Mooney away?
Okay.
This would be a 12-team Superflex. Okay.
Yeah, so we said we spoke to that earlier. I wouldn't move him for anything less than like a late first, early second this year, but I don't think you're going to get that value. I don't think anyone's all in on Mooney to make that move. So for me, he's more of a hold than anything. So yeah. I hope that makes sense.
Definitely more win now. So,
but guys, we do have a mock draft tomorrow. Badaki will do a Dynasty rookie only mock tomorrow.
Yeah, we're in Dynasty rookie only mock tomorrow.
So that will be the same time.
Yeah, same time as today. Today I think it was 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna do just rookies. We're gonna talk about these rookie guys that are rising up our boards, or guys that you should be looking out in these third, fourth, even second round guys that can really help your team go to the next level here. So yeah, man, tomorrow 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, join our Discord if you want to be part of those rookie mock drafts,
Yeah.
or any mock drafts, and come through.
And, we will just spend about 5 minutes here plugging some things that we do. Feel free to hang around if you want to hear about some things that we have. Obviously, Patreon, we've talked about throughout the live stream. If you want to join a league with us, not only join a league, there's tiers where you can just support. There's tiers where you can get something called the Fantasy Hotline, which is essentially a direct message system between us where we can, give you advice on trades, give you advice on the trades that you receive or your team. Any questions that you have throughout the year, but there also is the ability to play and redraft in dynasty leagues there. We also have a main channel where we cover DFS and we cover redraft content. I'll paste that in the chat now. So there's the redraft channel if you're interested in that. Trippy says with annually paying. So we answered this question here earlier, Trippy. I don't know if you're able to hear us or not, but when you select the yearly option, it gives you a 10% discount, but you just pay that up front. You don't pay it monthly. The yearly option, you pay a one fee that covers you for the entire year, so you don't have to worry about each month, and it gives you a little 10% discount. So hope that helps, but Trippy, DM us if you have any questions.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit confusing sometimes as well, because I know it's like an upfront thing, but you can pay annually. So maybe, yeah.
So yeah, you basically just have the option to either pay monthly or annually, All right, last thing we'll say, we got some great videos coming up this week, guys. Buy or sells on DJ Moore, Russell Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Jacobs. We have Dynasty buy low wide receivers. We're going to be talking about Matt Corral, Christian Watson. A video I'm really excited about is 2022 NFL Combine prospects to watch. We're giving you a watch list.
That's right.
I'm excited about that one. We just recorded it today. We're also going to be telling you Dynasty sell high wide receivers, Isaiah Spiller, and we're going to do more Dynasty grade trading.
Yeah, we should post that today so we can get some good content as well. Yeah. So if you guys have any trade offers that you want, please put that you want us to grade. Please put that in the Dynasty Damn It tab, and then under Dynasty Trades.
Yeah,
put that in there. We'll post something in that form there as well, so you guys can kind of see what we're asking for.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Trippy, yes, you can make the monthly payment automatic. Yeah, you can set that up there in the payment options. Hey, there's 32 people watching. We didn't hit our like goal, but you guys helped us hit 42 likes. So big shout out to you guys. That's huge love. If you haven't hit a like, maybe just drop a like here on the way out. That would mean a lot to us. And again, we will be back here live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a rookie only mock draft. Join the Discord if you want to be a part of it. And yeah, have a good rest of your day. I don't think there's anything else to say.
No, I think all love you. I appreciate you. Stay safe. If you ever go to Chick-fil-A, get a large sweet tea or lemonade for me sometime this week, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh man,
I miss Chick-fil-A every single day. I mean, look, this literally sits on my desk. I look at this every day. Every time I work, I'm like,
it's either that or please get a large sweet tea from McDonald's.
Nah, go to Chick-fil-A.
Please. But make sure that they
I even have a shirt.
Fresh. Make sure you go in fresh when you go to the McDonald's, and make sure
I miss it, man.
Fresh meat. You have the shirt.
Yeah. When I came back to visit my parents in Kansas City, they knew the owners of a Chick-fil-A establishment, and they brought out the cow. Like someone dressed up in the cow costume, and they welcomed me. And they're like, "Hey, what's up? Here's some food." Anyway,
later this week.
All right, guys. Huge love. Already. Genuinely, it's always so fun to hang out with you guys.
All love, Trippy. Yeah, all love, man. Appreciate everyone, you guys.
All that is